Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo. President Muhammad Buhari has approved the immediate unbundling of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) into 7 independent operational units. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiku, who announced the unbundling of the National Oil Company in Abuja, said 5 of the 7 operational units will be strictly business-focused in line with global best practices of national oil companies. The new units include those for upstream, downstream, gas and power refineries, ventures, corporate and planning and services, and finance and accounts. Each of the units would be headed by chief executive officers, namely Bello Rabiu for upstream, Henry Ikem Oni downstream, Anibo Raga refineries, Saudu Mohammed gas and power, while Babatunde Adeniran will head ventures. The group executive director in charge of finance and services would be Isiaka Abdulrazak, while the executive head corporate services will be Isa Noah. All appointments take immediate effect. President Muhammad Buhari says his administration will continue to deepen diplomatic ties with other nations for economic benefits of Nigeria. President Buhari affirms this while playing host to his South African counterpart, Jacob Zuma, at the Aso Rock Villa. The two leaders say over 30 agreements and memorandum of understanding were signed between Nigeria and South Africa. And moving on, we also have that Nigeria and South Africa have been talking about working together in areas beneficial to both countries. Visiting South African President Jacob Zuma was given the honor of addressing a joint sitting of the National Assembly. Zuma says South Africa will not forget the role played by Nigeria in its fight against insurgency. And away from that, within a week, women over the world are being celebrated, and the Senate is joining the international community to celebrate this year's International Women's Day. Moving a motion to that effect, Senator Oluremi Tinubu from Lagos State urged the Senate to look seriously into the challenges women are going through in the country, counting some of them to include the way the girl child is being treated. We bring you details of that report on our midnight update. And in Osun State, women in the state joined their counterparts across the world to mark the year 2016 International Women's Day with special focus on the negligence and stigmatization of women with disabilities. Speakers at the forum organized by the Osun Agency for Community and Social Development Project advocated for the inclusion of the physically challenged in the policy implementation to give them a sense of acceptability in the society. Rashid reports. We bring you details of that as well in our subsequent bulletin. And women across the world are celebrating World Women's Day. Nigerian women have also joined in the celebration. Many of them use the opportunity to enumerate several challenges women are burdened with, such as domestic and sectarian violence, sexual abuse, and neglect. Theophilus Abila has more.
Fellow women across the states with one vision, one purpose, one goal, one focus, one unity of hearts, we shall achieve.
All over the world, women contribute to social, economic, cultural, and political achievements. In some cases, they are the ones leading their nation. For development of any kind to be successful, a vantage position should be accorded to women, as they constitute larger proportion of the population.
By 2030, I believe we'll have the 50-50 they are talking about. That's more women. But as for now, to me, I would say they are trying, but to me, it's not so much. They are not trying well. I believe they will increase the number of women in all areas of the government.
Please, the women should be educated. They should not be just left out in the kitchen, because a woman has sympathy more than even some of the men. And when you educate a woman, it's just like you educate the whole society.
In this regard, they feel they should not be left out in the issues of decision making that borders even on their lives as a people.
Before, it was even unheard of for a woman to be at the National Assembly. But now we have senators as women. We have those in the reps. I think we have started well. And I believe by 2030, we would have been more than what we are now.
I think women should begin to do things that will make them worth what they are asking for. If you prove yourself well enough, a man cannot stand in your way. Let's stop complaining. Let's make up our mind and prove to the men that we are equal to the task. Let's do things that will make them value us.
The International Women's Day is set aside to celebrate the struggle for women's rights in the economic, social, political, and cultural domain. The women in Taraba marked the day in prayers for the nation and state at large. Udwa Godwin, CoreTV News, Jalingo.
And following the pronouncement of Lassa fever outbreak recently in Kaduna State by the Commissioner for Health, Professor Andrew Nock, another health worker has been infected with the virus and currently isolated at the Infectious Disease Center, Kakuri, Kaduna South local government area of the state. Chairman, Nigerian Medical Association, Kaduna State Chapter, Mohammed Sani Ibrahim, says 2 patients suspected of the virus, a male from Kachai Hospital and a female from Kawo General Hospital, were referred to Baro Diko Specialist Hospital within Kaduna Metropolis, were lost to follow-up and their whereabouts cannot be ascertained. Our correspondent tells us more. The NMA chairman, while briefing newsmen on the Lassa fever outbreak in the state, which has so far claimed the lives of 3 persons, called on the public to observe a good community hygiene, including food hygiene and food protection practices.
There are 1 or 2, somebody maybe suspected case and then referred from Zonkwa to Barodiko absconded. There's one referred from the Kawo General Hospital now to Barodiko Specialist Hospital. Just a suspected case and has absconded. One of the best ways that you can ensure that you control it is when you can identify contacts.
As part of measures to address the situation, Ibrahim says the association is creating awareness and preventive measures sensitizing the clinics, both in public and private setup, to observe a very high index of suspicion and to observe universal precautions as they handle patients in all facilities. He assured that the Medical Association intends to sustain their sensitization and awareness creation effort as a sure way to forestall spread and reduce death from the infection. Dr. Mohammed also urged all to ensure that they avoid contact with rats, as well as food or objects contaminated with rat secretions, excretions, saying people must avoid drying food in the open and along the roadside, and also to cover all food to prevent contamination.
We therefore call on the public to observe a good community hygiene, including food hygiene, food protection practices. We urge all to ensure that they avoid contact with rats, as well as food or objects contaminated with rat secretions or excretions.
The chairman calls on family members and healthcare workers to always exercise caution and avoid contact with blood fluids while caring for sick persons, while suspected cases should be reported immediately, because the treatment outcome is best if the treatment is commenced early. It says the 10 primary contacts and 28 secondary contacts of the doctor and nurse that died as a result of the Lassa fever virus are currently placed.
If the treatment is commenced early.
Lagosians woke up this morning to the sad news that a building around Chisco bus stop area of Lekki Phase 1 had collapsed. Spokesman for the National Emergency Management Agency Southwest Zone, Ibrahim Fariloye, gave the number of dead persons in the 5-story building collapse at 15, and 8 persons had been rescued. The building is part of the house being constructed by Lekki Gardens, located at the end of Kushanla Road. We take a break now, and when we return, we'll bring you more stories. Do stay with us.
Mommy, more. Where would I be without you? Now you be my best friend. Now you be my sister. Now you be my mentor, and you are still my mama.
Mama na kibani doya de wake. Mama no lazy. You help me reach my peak in mama. Now you wash my infant head. Oh, everything for you I go do, mama.
Show your sweet and caring mother how much she means to you. Celebrate her with the special Peak Packs. Peak, it's in you.
Are you aware that the death percentage attributed to Lassa fever cases is currently put at 43.2%, a figure considered very high? Lassa fever, an acute viral illness characterized by high fever, muscle aches, mouth ulcers and bleeding in the skin, is harbored by rats and spread to humans via the urine and droppings of rats. To prevent Lassa fever, avoid any exposure with rodents, rats, as well as food and objects contaminated with rat secretions and excretions. Report all suspected cases of Lassa fever immediately to the nearest healthcare institution. Help prevent Lassa fever. This message is from the Federal Government of Nigeria.
Good to have you join us again. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. For more of the news and information, do visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space and news. Moving on, an Abuja High Court has fixed March 14 for judgment in a fundamental human rights enforcement suit filed by a former aide to the ex-National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki. The former aide, Colonel Nicholas Ashinze, is seeking an order of the court for his release from the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on bail. Ashinze alleged through his counsel Mike Ozekome that he had been in custody of EFCC and the Nigerian Army since December 23, 2015. Ashinze was said to have been arrested and detained in relation to the ongoing investigation into alleged mismanagement of arms funds under the previous administration. We also will move on to all the stories as foreign-owned media organizations have their workout, as the federal government says they should be fair in the reportage of happenings in the country, especially the war on terror in the northeast. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the government will continue to seek a mutual beneficial relationship with all media organizations in the country. Correspondent Kozem Kasali has more in this report. We'll bring you details of that report later. And the Islamic Military Alliance to Fight Terrorism is an intergovernmental military intervention as the war against terrorism continues in Buhari's administration. This has brought mixed reactions whether to join the Islamic coalition in the fight against insurgency or not. On our flagship program called Digest, this took the center stage as analysts share their views. Our correspondent has more.
As the war against insurgency continues to strike in Nigeria, mixed reactions greet whether Nigeria should join the Islamic coalition in the fight against insurgency. Now, a flashy program called I Just Analysts of the view that joining the group is not to Islamize the country.
If the government of Nigeria believes that, okay, if there's a coalition that is going to make sure that we fight terrorism, what stops Nigeria from joining?
However, callers on the program have this to say.
I am of the opinion that it is very, very wrong. We are a secular country. Going into an Islamic coalition like that, it is a religious coalition. The doctrine of that organization or that coalition is going to be purely religious.
Our president told the whole Nigeria that it's for nobody. And he's showing the result of it belongs to nobody in this country. If he's going to tell Nigerians that our ministry are not doing anything, they want to bring those Islamic coalition, good and fine. Let him come out and tell Nigeria.
It is the expectations of Nigerians that the President Buhari-led administration should take the right decision that will benefit all and sundry.
Traditional rulers in Lagos have condemned the Maidan-Agility clash that led to the destruction of lives and property last Thursday. While speaking to the leaders of the affected communities, the Oba of Lagos, Riliwan Akinolu, decried the initial breakdown of law and order while appreciating the prompt response of the state government and security agents in quickly restoring peace. Sarah Ayeko has more.
A gathering of royalties days after the Thursday Agility Maidan clash in Mile 12 area. Community leaders across Yoruba and Hausa groups met to resolve issues surrounding last week's crisis that left no fewer than 4 people dead and property worth millions of naira destroyed.
Being the number one traditional of United States, to allow for people to be taking the laws into their hands. Little things go about damaging properties, burning houses of innocent people. It has to stop.
While appreciating the efforts of security agents, Obaril Akinolu of Lagos emphasizes the collective responsibility everyone has to ensure a secured community life.
The security forces, they are trying to put this in order, but they cannot record success if we don't cooperate with them. It's only in this country that people don't like to volunteer information.
In his response, the leader of the Hausa community calls for peaceful coexistence among all.
First, and collaborate with the fathers and make sure that there is peace in Lagos, regardless.
It's not only in Lagos,
entire Nigeria, Lagos, and everywhere, regardless of Hausa, Yoruba, or Igbo.
Meanwhile, decision on possible relocation of the Mile 12 market will be made at the traditional rulers meeting with Governor Akinwumi Ambode, holding not too many days from now. Sarah Ayeko, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And in the aftermath of the Mile 12 crisis, business activities have now shifted to Kara Market along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway following the Lagos State closure of Mile 12 Market in the wake of the crisis that left 4 dead last Thursday. Trailers loaded with foodstuff, especially fresh pepper, tomatoes and onions, lined the road. Some discharging their content and others packed until it is their turn, while traders who got wind that Kara is the new Mile 12 troop in to transact business. Akin Obake brings us more.
With Mile 12 Market shut, Kara opened. Traders of perishables will not have the crisis of Maidan Agility stop them from doing business. The economic relevance of the Mile 12 markets is evident, with the number of loaded trucks discharging goods at Kara Market on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, just about 200 meters from the popular burger bus stop in Lagos. Traders, however, complain of low patronage.
People will buy here small. All this one we do for the just for finish. I guess three of onions will go buy.
Market women from different parts of Lagos State have come to buy goods.
When Governor Ambode visited on Sunday, he instructed that the market should remain closed because of the fight. And if they still sell there, more damage can be done. That is why business has stopped, and we are here until things calm down.
In the hope of a resolution that would favor buying and selling, traders look forward to returning to Mile 12 market soon. And in the event that the outcome of various stakeholders' meeting is otherwise, Kara markets might just be the new Mile 12 markets.
A temporary location by traders of the Mile 12 markets following the closure of the Mile 12 market by the Lagos State government. What will be the hope of traders of the Mile 12 markets, and what will be the hope of opening the markets in times to come? Only time will tell. Akin Obake, CoreTV News, Ogun State.
And what seemed like a crackdown on Ekiti State, the Commissioner for Finance, Toyin Ojo, has been detained by the Department of State Services. This comes after 4 members of the State House of Assembly were arrested by DSS operatives who stormed the Olet chamber of the state on Friday, March 4, 2016. While the State Executive Council condemns the arrest, it reiterates that latest arrest of principal officers is politically motivated to intimidate Governor Ayodele Fayose. Rashid has more.
Ekiti State government is no longer at ease after the detention of Finance Commissioner Toyin Ojo and the arrest of 4 lawmakers. The State Executive Council, chaired by the Deputy Governor Kolapo Olushola, at the end of its meeting criticized the Department of State Service (DSS) while accusing it of causing apprehension in the state.
That 4 honorable members of the Ekiti State House of Assembly were reported to have been forcefully abducted in the hallowed chamber of the House on Friday, March 4, 2016. And whisked away to yet to be identified destination. That the Honorable State Commissioner for Finance and Economic Development, Chief Toyin Ojo, was arrested and detained by men of the Directorate of State Security Services DSS on Monday, March 7, 2016.
The council members then demand the unconditional release of those in DSS custody.
Prevail on General Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, and the entire APC-led federal government to ensure the immediate release of the aforementioned functionaries of the government of Ekiti State with no further delay.
It is unfortunate because we don't know what exactly the DSS wants.
Whether the DSS will hearken to the call for the release of the 5 persons or pick more officials, Ekiti stakeholders keenly watch and wait. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAMB, fully commenced its computer-based test this year. With this, the written exam is finally scrapped, and students who have applied to Nigerian public and private polytechnics and universities know their scores within an hour. Victoria Solomon takes a look at how well students are settling into a fully digitalized test. A report.
Parents and their wards milling around wondering how the new JAMB experience will be. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board organizes examinations yearly as a prerequisite for getting admitted into higher institutions of learning in Nigeria. However, mixed feelings have greeted its decision to migrate fully into a computer-based test mode.
May God help them. We can't predict. It depends on people that set it. You know, if they're not up to the task, they won't do it. But they're up to the task, and they know how it can favor them.
The expectation of every parent, I do know, is to wish his or her ward success. And that is also my dream, because it is my responsibility to see them do well and grow in life.
With the students themselves, it is different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, it's very convenient. Though I didn't know how the paper pencil was, but I prefer the computer based very much. No stress, everything was easy.
I prefer computer based to a PPT because a computer based is more efficient, and it teaches more people to know how to use a computer.
Which is a better experience and why? The written or the fully digital JAMB test?
I like the way they did it now.
but I don't know about others. But I love it, or I enjoy it. There's no, my partner was not disturbing me, I'm not disturbing him, so I was comfortable with my exam. But the maths, we expect mathematics, not further maths.
Only research over a period of time will reflect what impact the switch has on students' performance. And how well up the 400 marks ladder thousands more climb.
Nigerian Communications Commission has been carrying out an assessment of the current level of competition in the telecommunications industry. The result is showing that broadband data will be made available at an affordable price everywhere in Nigeria soon. This was reviewed by the Executive Vice Chairman of the Commission, Umar Dambata, at the Stakeholders Forum in Abuja. Bukola Afeni has more in this report presented from our studio.
The NCC chairman says the data collected from the operators in the transmission cable market created an opportunity to make a review in what to charge. The variation will depend on distance and service provider's operator.
It was obvious that the pricing of transmission leased lines was discriminatory and arbitrary, thus forming the basis for cost study determining pricing in the market.
Head Policy and Implementation, Josephine Amundi, says the cost-based pricing of fixed transmission service will be effective from April 14. She's further highlighting that by this development, subscribers will have access to cheap data. The Nigerian Communications Commission is putting in place modalities to increase broadband penetration rate from 6 to 30% by 2018.
The Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, and independent petroleum marketers, IPMAN, in Kwara State are at loggerheads as the marketers are calling for the redeployment of DPR's operations controller, Philip Salvation. Accused of being high-handed and strict on selling the product above official price, Philip Salvation has described the allegation as mere blackmail over his refusal to allow sharp practices. Rashid has details.
While fielding questions from journalists, the chairman of the Independent Petroleum Marketers, IPMAN, Nlanrewaju Okonlawon, laments difficulty in buying from federal government depots, hence their patronage of private ones at higher price, urging the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, to allow them determine the selling price.
We don't want to work with the man again. He's not a good manager. He should be able to manage the stations. When there is no product, you should know the way we should work. You can't be 100% enforcement that way, because there are situations when there is no product. How do we do?
Reacting to the allegation, DPR's operations controller Philip Salvation describes the allegation as an attempt to twist him into permitting hoarding, adulteration, smuggling and selling products above official price.
They are asking me to look the other way so they can overprice, underdispense, adulterate, smuggled, divert, and commit all manner of nefarious violation.
Salvation disclosed that he has been under constant death threats from the marketers.
But these people that are used to illegitimate business hitherto, they want to do all kinds of things, thinking they can subject us to fear, and so we can shy away from our own responsibility. We will not.
IPMAN, however, denied any of its members issued any form of threat, but rather that the DPR boss demanded bribes which his members refused to give.
There is nothing like that. We are law-abiding citizens. Our members are businessmen. There is no reason why we should be hoodlums. We are not hoodlums. It's not possible to be threatening his life. Nobody is threatening his life. But we want him to live and let us live.
As accusations and counter-accusations continue between the DPR and IPMAN, motorists and residents of Kwara are concerned more and look forward to the availability of petroleum products for their use. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
The Taraba State House of Assembly now has a full membership of the Assembly fully represented. Odua Godwin reports that the lawmakers have been inaugurating 2 new members who won the rerun election last month.
After the order from appeal court sitting in Yola, which orders for rerun of elections of the 2 members, Luck smiled on them as they were able to scale through and won the rerun elections under the platform of the People Democratic Party. With the issuance of certificate of return by the Independent National Electoral Commission, the Speaker of the House officially asked them to take their seats on the floor.
I have received the writ of return of our colleagues, the Right Honorable Ebert Peter Dia and the Honorable Emmanuel Dami.
The 2 members took turns taking their oaths of office.
That as a member of the Taraba State House of Assembly, I will perform my function honestly to the best of my ability, faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law and the rule of the Taraba State House of Assembly.
That I will strive to preserve the fundamental objectives and directive principles of the state policy contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Now that the State House is fully constituted, it is the expectation of the people that the lawmakers will do the needful which is expected of them by their constituents. Odua Godwin, CoreTV News, Jalingo.
The People's Democratic Party says it will show all Nigerians that it is the alternative to the current pervasive hunger in the land through a 10 million man march throughout the nation. A group within the party known as the PDP Vanguard says the party will come back in 2019. Correspondent Jamil Afagwa has more in this report.
PDP.
With shout of the party's slogan brent in the air, members of the PDP Vanguard say the party will come back in 2019. Going further, he says the Vanguard is putting together a 10 million man march throughout the country to ensure that Nigerians are reminded of the virtues of the PDP.
PDP is planning 10 million man march under the PDP National Youth Vanguard, Office of the National Youth Leader of our great party, PDP. And the theme of our 10 million man march is no to corruption, no to nepotism, no to selective justice, and no to hunger in our dear country, Nigeria.
The group says hunger is pervasive in the land and that Nigerians now know the difference between the party and the current ruling party.
If they say they want to do it, they will do it, and we are doing it. They may not do it, but we are doing it, since they were copying right. But we are not copying from them. We started it, and we want to do it. They want to copy from us, seeing that they have nothing to offer, and they want to deceive Nigerians again.
He says the party has always blazed the trail, and the present ruling party is only learning from it with its own 9 million man march.
We'll take another break now, and when we return, we'll bring you stories from outside Nigeria and sports. To stay with us.
Is it what crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth. Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute. I said to hell.
On Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we'll bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have your right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
For topical issues, Nigerians must have something to say.
Arms. We don't need arms for anything. Let them put it into education.
They need to ban other arms now. What are they fighting for? Government should deal with them squarely.
Please help us bring back our guests. No money, no markets. We are dying. Everybody is crying.
Nothing, nothing.
Any man God support, no man stops.
It's a prophecy I believe he must have received from heaven.
Yes.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
Good to have you back on the foreign scene now. Mexican President Enrique Pena Nieto has compared the rhetoric of U.S. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump to that of German Nazi leader Adolf Hitler. The Mexican leader also says Trump has hurt U.S.-Mexico relations. During U.S. primaries, Donald Trump stated that if he is elected, he will build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border to keep migrants from crossing into the U.S. illegally. The Republican candidate has also insisted that Mexico would pay for the border wall, which President Pena Nieto dismissed out of hand, saying there is no scenario under which Mexico would ever pay for such a wall. A delegation from Houthi group is in Saudi Arabia for talks on ending Yemen's war in what happens to be the most serious attempt to date to end the conflict. The visit is reported to be the first of its kind since the war began in March last year between Iran-allied Houthi forces and an Arab military coalition assembled by Saudi Arabia. The visit began on Monday at the invitation of Saudi authorities following a week of secret preparatory talks, said the two senior officials from the administrative body that runs part of Yemen, controlled by Houthis. And moving on, a former missionary from Oklahoma convicted of sexually abusing children at an orphanage in Kenya has been sentenced to 40 years in a federal prison. 21-year-old Matthew Lane Dorham had faced up to 30 years and each of 4 counts of engaging in illicit sexual conduct in foreign places and has been duly sentenced. Dorham, who had served as a volunteer at the Upendo Children's Home in Nairobi since 2012, was also ordered to pay restitution of $15,863. And now we move straight to sports.
Our style, and that's what he delivered.
In sports, Ghanaian Silas Tete is to continue as caretaker coach of Sierra Leone after his loan agreement was extended. Tete will take charge of Sierra Leone's upcoming matches against Gabon. Tete has previously coached Black Stars and Rwanda, was initially loaned to Sierra Leone for 3 months after the search for permanent coach was put on hold by the Football Association. And to end, of course, the former Everton manager David Moyes is expected to be one of the top guns to attend the testimonial of former Nigerian captain Joseph Yobo. Yobo was Moyes' first signing and the former Nigerian defender is delighted that the Scotsman has agreed to be part of his official farewell to the sport. Reports say several top football stars are expected to attend the Joseph Yobo centenary and testimonial at the Adoki Amasimaka Stadium in Port Harcourt. And Paris Saint-Germain's Italian midfielder Marco Verratti is doubtful to face Chelsea in tomorrow's Champions League last 16th second leg match. Verratti has missed his team's last 3 matches with a groin injury, and PSG coach Lord Blake says that he would not be able to make a decision about the 23-year-old fitness until after Tuesday's March training session. PSG, who led 2-1 from the first leg, are otherwise at full strength apart from right-back Seg Aria, who is suspended after insulting Blake and his teammate in an online video. And it's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News. Thank you so very much for joining us. I am Omotayo. Hello.